Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start with unit number 5. The title of the unit is Etiquettes. Now, remember, you are not only judged by what you speak, but also how you behave in a particular situation, especially in workplace and professional scenarios, right? Your behavior would also be an immense part of people judging you, right? So, we're going to look at etiquettes and how to behave in particular scenarios, like how to behave over the telephone. Though you can now replace the word telephone with mobile phones, but still, if you take up professional setups, they would really have a landline number as well. So how do you behave over the telephone? How do you behave when you visit other people, when you meet people in person? How do you behave when you go on foreign business tours? We're not talking about a picnic or a holiday, but we're talking about a business tour. So your behavioral etiquettes and manners that you need to follow at different places is what we are going to explore one at a time. So today we're going to start with telephonic etiquettes or telephone etiquettes, right? Before we start, what are telephone etiquettes? We need to know what are etiquettes. Etiquettes are actually the appropriate behavior, the behavior that has been set up by the society, and you are expected to follow it. Let's say, let's take a simple example. When somebody wishes you hello, hi, good morning, it is an etiquette to wish back. Now, you cannot just nod your head and go away, right? What do? You wish the person. Somebody says good morning, you say good morning back. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. And you don't stop there and you say how are you, right? What are things up to, etc. You continue the conversation till a point where you can, finally move away. Right? So what are etiquettes? Etiquettes actually mean they are appropriate behavior. It is the code that is set by the society, which asks people to behave in a particular manner within that society or within that group of people. This reason for setting up a code of conduct or a code of etiquettes is so that people feel comfortable and the situation becomes pleasant. So, telephone etiquettes. What is included in telephone etiquettes? Kindly mark this is an important question from the exam point of view. What are telephone etiquettes? Telephone etiquettes not only mean the way we talk, but it begins from the way you start talking, that is, the way you speak, the way you listen to what the other person is saying, the way you respond, and also the way you hang up your phone or you disconnect your phone. Remember, etiquettes do not end when you stop talking. Right? As we know, we have been going back to unit 1 every time, where they tell us that it's not only how you speak, it is also about how you don't speak and you communicate, right? Similarly, hanging up the phone is also a part of telephonic etiquettes. It begins with you speaking, you listening to what the other person says, you responding to the questions that are asked, and it also includes how you hang up your phone, how you disconnect the phone. Right? So, making a call. Before initiating a call, you need to be clear about the purpose of calling. Right? Why am I making this call? Since long time we have not talked to this person of this particular company. Let me make a call, like that. In business hours. No. What is the purpose? The purpose of the call needs to be clear. Remember, we have been continuously repeating this, that in a workplace situation or in a professional setup, your purpose should be clear. Not only professional, but also at times in our personal life also, our purpose should be clear. Why? The why part. Right? I've been repeating this ever since. Why are we calling a meeting? Why are we writing the agenda? Why are we writing the minutes of the meeting? Why are we drafting the letter? The why part should be really clear. So why are you making this call? What would be the content of the call? Now, in such a case, what would happen is most of us would remember things before we make the call, and at times it would happen that when we make the call, we actually forget what we were supposed to ask. Remember, this incident might have happened with all of us some point of time in our personal lives. We might have made a call to somebody to ask something, and we actually forget that main crux part of it. All right. So have a habit when you make a call. Have a habit of having a notepad and a pen. You should jot down the things so that you do not forget. Because if it is personal life, I can give the call very next second. I can give a call to somebody and say, I actually called to ask this, but I did not ask. Can you please tell me? But in a professional setup, it is a huge, huge mistake to not ask what you actually wanted to ask when you made the call. It's a huge, huge mistake. And in business setups, calling again and then telling them, I forgot to ask a few things and I want to ask it again, and all that is not considered to be professional enough. It's not considered to be professional enough. Right? You have to be professional. You have to maintain that decorum. Okay, so make a list of the content of the call. I'm not saying word to word. I will say this, he will say that. You can jot it down in bullet points. So first, you don't have to write that I'm going to greet the person. That's but obvious. When somebody picks up the phone, we will say hello, good morning, how are you? May I please am I talking to this person? Right? That's something that happens. That you need not know. But the content, the actual purpose that you want to contact the receiver for, that should be noted in the content. Okay, I need to ask the person about whether they are confirming the order or not. If yes, have they placed the order with us? If no, when are they placing the order for the products? Right? Something like that. That's an example. Then how to begin the call. See, the start is very important. It should sound pleasant. Remember that when you are talking through a phone call, you actually need to sound pleasant. Right? Anybody would like to talk to somebody who sounds pleasant? By pleasant, I don't mean you have to be musical or something like that, but you should show that energy and enthusiasm in the phone. Hello, good morning, sir. That pleasantness comes from the voice that we need to look at. And then there is one third possibility. Nowadays, there are tower issues, connectivity issues. What if the call disconnects? What do you do? Leave it aside. The person will call back. Usually, if you are the person who is calling it and the call disconnects, you should call back. In case you as the receiver are in some place where there is some connectivity issue, please take it up as your duty to inform the caller that, see, I'm having connectivity issue. Drop a message. I'll be calling you once I move to a place where the issue is resolved. Maybe sometimes it so happens that you are traveling and then there are connectivity issues. Have the courtesy to inform the caller if the call disconnects before you can inform him that I'm traveling, I'm on my way to the office, I'm on the road, I have problems with connectivity. If you are unable to explain this to the person before the call disconnects, have the courtesy to inform via a message. Right? Don't leave it as it. Let him call, let him try. He or she will forget after he or she tries 4-5 times. Let me do it afterwards. Not like that. Telephone means it's immediate responding. Okay. So what do you need to prepare before calling? For business calls, who do you want to speak to? Sometimes there is a setup where you have to go through a line. Right? They don't give you their personal numbers. So they give you the number of the reception desk. So there you have to wish the person, you have to tell the person who is calling, and you have to ask the person to transfer the call to the person to whom you want to talk to. Let me give you an example. Let's say I ring up at the reception. I say, okay, good morning, sir, ma'am. Is this Marwari University? The person replies, yes. I actually wanted to talk to the head of the department, computer engineering, and then the name of the person. Can you please transfer the call to him? or her, if the gender is there. Choose the most convenient time to call. Now remember, the university works for some hours. If you want to contact the person within the hours, you have to look into it. I cannot call somebody at 12. Right? What do we usually do? You call the person in the morning time, before the lunch time, or somewhere in the afternoon, in the late afternoon, that is after 3. You don't call somebody in between 12 and 3. Right? We have been doing this, we have been practicing this, we just have to know the theory part, right? So we have been following this. So that's why choose the most convenient time. Then, is this the first call you are making to the person, or is it a follow-up call? Now if it is a follow-up call, you need to give a reference. Remember sir, we had a talk last week. See, here you need not be to the point that last week on the 12th, it was a Saturday, I called you at 9 o'clock, we called for 30 minutes, you answered me, but things were still left out. No, not like that. So remember, I called you last week for this. The person, see, if it is a business person, they keep a note of things. You remember business people carrying diaries along. They take notes, they don't take along diaries for just showing that we have a diary. Or because it's fancy, adds to my style, makes a style statement. They don't do that. The diary actually has a record of things what has been happening. Professionally, people do that. Right? So try to make sure whether you're calling for the very first time or is it a follow-up call. Why? Because if it is for a first time, the way you will approach the person and the way you will talk to the person will be little different from when it is a follow-up call. Right? In the first time calling, you don't have any reference to be given. I had called you 2 weeks back, you did not reply and all that. In a follow-up call, you have to tell the reference. You have to refer back to the time, sir, you had asked me to call next week. I called you last Saturday. You gave an appointment for Thursday. Right? So that's why this is the preparation you do before calling. Remember, people are not interested in long stories. That's why you should be brief and to the point, concise. As I said, you should jot down the points for discussion. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just the points. We don't need the dialogues. Keep a notepad and a pen ready in case somebody wants to pass on some information to you. You should keep your notepad and pen ready. Now jot down important information. To jot down important information, it should be there. You cannot tell the person, can you please hold for a second, I'll grab my pen and notepad. Right? That shows that you are not prepared for it. Remember, in business setups, we always have the before part, the during part, and the after part. So this is the before calling. Before you dial the number, you should have things prepared. These are the preparations that you do before. Right? Keep the conversation as short as possible. Remember, in business setups, we don't require long stories. We require things to the point, very brief and very clear. Right? You cannot be talking to me for 1 hour or 2 hours. Nobody in business setup has that much of a time to call and to talk. And whatever those 10-15 minutes are given to you are precious time that the person has taken out. And if possible, avoid calling from landlines to mobile phones. In case you are calling from a landline, make sure that you give the person your cell number if the person decides to call back. Avoid calling from landlines to mobile phones in case you do so. In case you don't have a mobile phone, old school, and you have a landline only, not using a mobile phone. I know that's quite not possible in today's world, but suppose you are not using a mobile phone and you're just using a landline, or maybe you are not making business calls from your mobile. In that case, make sure you ask the receiver to note down your number. The number on which you are readily available. Why? Because the landline stays in the office. You cannot carry the landline with you. In case somebody has some urgent work, wants to talk to you after the office hours, after 5, what to do? How do I connect to you? In that case, please provide a number. Next, select a quiet place before placing the call. You cannot, you don't want some disturbance coming in between. Talk according to the interest of the receiver. Whosoever has received a call, according to his or her interest. Try to find out whether the person is interested in doing business with you or not. In case of a missed call, remember to call back later. If you have missed picking up somebody's call, maybe you are driving your bike, you're driving your car, and you do not pick up the phone, kindly make sure that you call back the person later. So, is the statement true or false? We have our reconnecting question. In telephonic conversations, the way we listen, respond, speak, or hang up is as important as what is communicated. Right? You may type your answer in the chat box. Excellent and absolutely correct. Statement is true. How to begin or how to receive a call? The first few words in the telephonic conversation are really important to establish the rapport between the caller and the receiver. Usually, the first few minutes are used to establish the identities, who is calling, for whom the call is, and what is the purpose of the call. Basically, the first few minutes set the context for the entire conversation. As I said in the pre-preparation part as well, you should find a suitable, quiet place to carry on the conversation. Make sure that you are clearly audible. It is advisable to receive the call by the third ring. If not possible, when you call back, apologize and tell the person that you were busy. I'm not saying you explain the situation. I'm saying you were stuck in some work. And you apologize. I could not receive your call. I'm sorry I could not receive your call. I was stuck up in some work. So I was in the middle of something. You don't have to tell what you were doing. Next, greetings play a very, very important role. You pick up any conversation, whether it's a telephone or face to face, or it's an interview, or it's a group discussion, or it's a public speaking. Remember, greetings play an important role. They are like the porch, the climbing part, where you start from. So remember to greet the person, whosoever it is. Even if it is the receptionist, you have to greet. Next, introduction is a must to develop the context. Now, people do save your number, but even you might be facing the same problem that you have same named people in different fields. How do we save it? You add something. Now, we cannot assume that the person has added your name and the person remembers all the 300, 500 contacts that have been saved in his or her phone. You cannot assume that પહેચાનતે હૈ જાણ પહેચાન છે ઘણા વર્ષોથી બિઝનેસ કરી છે. Even if it is like that, you have to introduce. See, I am Dr. Pooja Shukla from Marwari University. I'm associated with the Communication Skills Department. So may I talk to Dean Sir, Dr. R.B. Jadeja. You have to do that. The introduction has to be there because the introduction lays the foundation to build the conversation further. Please remember to be patient while the call is transferred to the desired person by the receptionist or the assistant. How much more time they will take? Don't start a self conversation. You never know when the phone is transferred and the other person might start listening to you venting out on it. Right? Be patient. It takes time for one call to be transferred to another place. Moreover, we do not know the situation. Right? So be patient enough to transfer while waiting for the call to be transferred. Now here your job does not end. Once the call is transferred and you are connected with the person you desire to talk, reintroduce yourself. Remember, the assistant or the receptionist has just transferred the call. He or she did not get the time to tell who is online. Okay, even if they have got a chance, it is our duty, utmost duty, to reintroduce ourselves. Please try and involve the receiver in a conversation instead of a yes and no question answer. Remember, it's not a question answer session. You're trying to develop conversation, you're trying to communicate things, you're trying to make your business happen. You cannot just ask, will you buy this product from me? He'll say no. Sir, but our product is very good, you should buy it from, but I don't want. You cannot have such a conversation. You should ask, sir, I'm sure you are available, I'm sure you are aware about many such products, but I can talk to you about the specifications of our products, and let's take it into a conversation. What are your needs, specific needs, and move on. Right? Use your conversation skills to establish a good relationship and make sure that the call ends on a positive note. Remember, here, when I say a positive note, does not mean that the deal is done. It means that if you call again, the person would be happy to receive your call. It should not so happen that the person says or informs his assistant that if this person calls, don't transfer it. You should end the conversation on a positive note, so that even if you do a business, you strike a deal with the person or not, the person is happy to receive your call. That is what we mean by when we say that the call should end on a positive note. Handling calls in different situations. What if the call gets disconnected? Sometimes it does happen that the call gets disconnected due to one or some other reason. It is actually a part of courtesy that the person who originally initiated the call should redial immediately. Apologize for the disconnection. I'm sorry, sir, there was some connected issue. I apologize for the technical glitch. Whatever it is, please apologize. In case at times you have to disconnect, you as the receiver have to disconnect the call due to one or the other reason, you as the receiver should resume the call with a satisfactory explanation. Right? You should call back once you get the chance and have a satisfactory explanation for why the sudden disconnection of the call happened. Confidential matters. Remember, you should never discuss confidential matters over the phone, because when you are calling, there is always we never see where the person is. We do not know the situation of the person. Confidential matters means it stays between two or more people, or maybe let's say 2 or 3 people, which are the decided people. It should not be spread out. Right? Now, you do not know where the person is, whether the call is on speaker or not, whether the call, certain institutes have this system of calls being recorded. Right? We do not know what the situation is. Never discuss confidential matters over the phone, because there's always a danger of being overheard or phones being tapped. In case you have to discuss this confidential matter, kindly check with the person with a polite way that whether it's possible to discuss particular matter. Why do you have to ask? If you ask the person, it will save both you and the person from embarrassing situations. No, we are not supposed to tell him he's my competitor in the field. He was there when you called, it was on speaker. No, sometimes it happens with us over the phone as well. When you make our personal calls, we are not supposed to speak that. It was a surprise for her. You spoke it. You revealed the surprise. Right? That puts both of the persons, the speaker as well as the receiver, into embarrassing situations. You have to look to it that it does not happen so. Giving a reference. Please have a habit of taking notes when you are on the phone. These notes come handy when you have to take up follow-up calls, or when you have to make a follow-up. Remember, even teachers have been telling you write dates. Why write dates? Because you can refer back to it. Right? Have a habit of writing dates alongside the information that you are noting, the important information that you are noting, so that you can always refer to the date. Remember, as I told you, that in business setups, in professional settings, what so happens is you need to make a solid, concrete reference. And you cannot say, some time back, maybe in the month of June or July, I had called you. You have to say in mid July. I'm not saying that you tell exact 9:30 I called and 10 o'clock you 9:30 did not pick up, 10 o'clock you call back. Not like that. But yes, you should know the date so that you can refer back to it. Is the statement true or false? Confidential matters should be discussed over the phone. Excellent, quick and correct at the same time. The statement is false. Never discuss confidential matter. Even if you have to discuss in some kind of a situation, you should first ask the person. Telephone etiquette. Please mark this as an important question from the exam point of view. Telephone etiquette. Greetings. We have been talking about it, but now these are headings and subheadings where we'll be working on things. Please begin with the proper greeting depending on the time of the day where you have called. Avoid answering with words such as yeah, yes, etc. or no. Right? You have to develop it into a conversation and not a yes and no session. Next, take permission and be polite. Now, politeness would bring warmth to the conversation. As I said, you have to talk with your, not only your words, but with your voice. Right? Your tone should convey authority and confidence. Yet, you should also have sensitivity in your tone. You may use phrases such as, may I please talk to? Can you please transfer the call to? I request you to connect me to. These are some of the phrases. Please take a note of these phrases as well. As there can be questions which can be formed, let's say small, shorter questions, some of the phrases that can be used while making a telephonic conversation can be, give a few examples of phrases that can be used while making a telephonic conversation. I'm giving you 2-3 minutes of time to take a note of this. Okay, this is very important from the exam point of view. I hope you have taken note of it. Identify self and organization. It is considered, as I said, identification is the first step. Remember, even if your numbers are saved with the people, introduction is what you need to do, not only yourself, but you can also introduce your company over here. It is a thumb rule. Thumb rule means it is inevitable. Cannot miss on this information. You have to give this information without fail. Right? It is the only reason we need to introduce is you make sure that the person knows who he or she is talking to avoid miscommunication and misunderstandings. Clarity, please do not use broken phrases. Always see to it that you are clear with what you are saying. Crisp, clear, and simple language. By crisp, we mean you choose your words wisely. Clarity, remember the 7 C's of letter writing? One of the C was clarity. Similarly, the same 7 C's can also be used when you are communicating, and one of the C's is clarity. So, clarity is the first step of a good conversation. Smile through your phone. As I said, sound pleasant. Keep a smile in your voice, sound upbeat and enthusiastic about the call, use proper tone while talking over the phone. Remember, it's your voice that is going to connect you, it's your voice that's going to create an impression, it's your voice that's going to make or break the deal, right? So, remember to smile through your voice. End on a pleasant note and use pleasantries like have a nice day, pleasure talking to you, it was nice talking to you. These are some of the phrases that you can use when you end the call, right? Now let's say somebody says no, it was a pleasure talking to you. How do I reply? I have to reply by saying the pleasure was all mine, right? Same here. Pleasantry, it feels warm, it completes the talk. So these phrases are also important. These are also few examples that you can right from the exam point of view. These are a few that I have kept here. These are not the only ones, right? I'm giving you 2 minutes of time to note this as well. Important phrases. I hope you have taken a note of it. That's with this ending on a pleasant note, we complete telephonic etiquettes. Do we have any question and answers? Any queries? Excellent if you don't have any queries. Then we can move on to our ritual of the quiz. So just give me a moment. I'll paste the quiz link over here. So there you go. This is the quiz link for today. You may start attempting your quiz now. Excellent. I see everybody has completed the quiz. So now let's take the attendance. Enrollment number 2, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12, 16, 17, 19, which was there, 24, 25, 26, 29, 31, 34, 35, 38, 44, 46, 7, 49, 50, 56, 58, 65, 67. I've marked 67, 68, 69, 72, 73, 82, 85, 89, 91, 96, 100, 101, 102, 103, 106, 108, 117, 118, 19, 120, 121, 125, 126, 131, 134, 144. Call out the absent numbers once so that we can have an idea if somebody has missed it. Yes, Raj. So we've got enrollment number 24. Numbers are enrollment number 24, enrollment number 67, and we have got 108. Himali was present. Mark I've taken the attendance, so don't worry. The class is done for the day. Thank you.